The world has seen its share of notorious criminals, but in the South American nation of Colombia, there emerged a criminal who was not only ruthless and powerful but also the seventh richest person in the world. This kingpin of the cocaine empire, Pablo Escobar, amassed a fortune of $25 billion by the late 1980s. At the time, Colombia's GDP was around $39 billion, meaning Escobar alone controlled nearly 65% of his country's wealth. He was so wealthy that his gang didn't even bother counting money. They weighed it in kilograms. His fortune was so vast that he had to store it in warehouses, where rats would chew through 10% of his earnings every year. Escobar spent his wealth lavishly, buying private islands, mansions, soccer fields, cars, submarines, and airplanes. Yet, he also burned millions of dollars to keep his daughter warm during a cold night. Despite such extravagance, his wealth remained untouched. The world's most powerful drug lord lived by one rule: plata o plomo, silver or lead. Plata meant, join me, and I'll make you so rich that your family will prosper for generations. Plomo meant, cross me, and I'll wipe out you and your entire family. This ruthless code ensured that everyone, police, ministers, journalists, and judges, was in his pocket. Those who defied him were silenced forever. Escobar's reign of terror claimed over 4,000 lives, including more than 600 police officers. His name alone struck fear into the hearts of many, and his influence was so immense that he could alter the country's constitution. Even when arrested, he dictated his terms, ensuring that his prison was built to his specifications and guarded by his own men. This is the story of Pablo Escobar, the world's most infamous drug lord, whose legacy continues to loom large even decades after his death. Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born on December 1, 1949, in Rio Negro, Colombia. The third child in his family, Escobar grew up in Medellín after his family relocated there. His father was a farmer, and his mother was a schoolteacher. As a young boy, Escobar dreamed of becoming a lawyer and even entering politics, but as he grew older, his ambitions shifted. He realized that power and influence came from wealth, and he was determined to amass it by any means necessary. Dropping out of school due to financial struggles, Escobar vowed to become a millionaire by the age of 25. He started small, selling fake diplomas, smuggling stereo equipment, and stealing tombstones. But these petty crimes weren't enough to satisfy his hunger for wealth. By his early 20s, he had graduated to car theft and kidnapping, targeting wealthy individuals for ransom. If the families refused to pay, he would execute his victims without hesitation. In 1971, Escobar kidnapped industrialist Diego Echevarria, demanding $50,000 for his release. Even after receiving the ransom, Escobar killed Echevarria, sending a chilling message to anyone who dared to cross him. By the age of 22, Escobar had achieved his goal. He was a millionaire. But his criminal activities also drew the attention of the police. In 1974, he was arrested for car theft and spent several months in jail. However, Escobar's time behind bars only hardened his resolve. He bribed his way out and continued his criminal empire. The 1970s marked the rise of the cocaine trade in the United States, and Colombian drug traffickers were making fortunes. Seeing an opportunity, Escobar entered the drug business, initially working for other cartels to learn the ropes. He quickly mastered the art of smuggling and established crucial connections. By 1976, Escobar, along with his cousins Gustavo Gaviria and the Ochoa brothers, founded the Medellín Cartel, which would soon dominate the global cocaine trade. Escobar's cartel employed ingenious methods to smuggle cocaine into the U.S., hiding it in car tires, television sets, fish, and even condoms. He also used airplanes, paying pilots $500,000 per flight to transport drugs. Under his leadership, the Medellín Cartel expanded rapidly, controlling 80% of the cocaine market in the U.S. and branching out to Mexico, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, and Spain. At its peak, the cartel was earning $420 million per week, earning Escobar the title, the King of Cocaine. Despite his criminal empire, Escobar sought legitimacy through politics. He built homes, hospitals, schools, and stadiums for the poor, earning their loyalty and admiration. In 1982, he was elected as an alternate member of Colombia's Congress, but his criminal past soon caught up with him. Investigations into his drug empire led to his resignation in 1984. Enraged, Escobar retaliated by assassinating Justice Minister Rodrigo Lara Bonilla and the editor of El Espectador, the newspaper that exposed his crimes. Escobar's war against the Colombian government escalated, culminating in the 1985 attack on the Supreme Court, where half of the judges were killed. Despite his efforts, the government, with U.S. support, intensified its crackdown on his cartel. By the early 1990s, Escobar's empire began to crumble. Rival cartels, government forces, and paramilitary groups targeted his associates, and his family became a target. In 1991, Escobar surrendered under the condition that he would serve his sentence in a self-built prison, La Catedral, which was more like a luxury resort than a jail. However, his continued criminal activities from within the prison led the government to move him to a more secure facility. Escobar escaped in 1992, sparking a massive manhunt. On December 2, 1993, after 16 months on the run, Escobar was cornered in Medellín. A joint operation by Colombian police and US DEA agents tracked him down using phone surveillance. In a fierce shootout, Escobar was killed, though some believe he took his own life to avoid extradition to the US. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy as the king of cocaine remains unparalleled. Pablo Escobar's life was a paradox, a man who brought both terror and charity to his people. His story is a chilling reminder of the power and destruction that come with unchecked ambition.